Hey everybody, welcome Vallis Sports Podcast. Jesse Vallis joined by my brother Justin. Arkansas Razorbacks versus Florida Gators. Arkansas, they traveled to the swamp, picked up the W. Uh, Justin, what'd you think about that? Much needed win.
Man, it's like I still don't even believe we won that game. When I think about it, it's like we won, but I think KJ said it was surreal, as that's how it felt like it was surreal to me too. Like they gave them an opportunity to kick a field goal that I'm not so sure they should have got. There should have been a runoff, but anyway, they miss it. And it's like, wow, it really shouldn't have went into overtime. If they make that, it wouldn't have went into overtime. And if they made an extra point earlier in the game, it wouldn't have went into overtime. It's so much crazy crap that had to happen to let Arkansas even get that game into overtime. And then finally we pulled one out. And it was like we had so much bad luck all season. Finally, the luck went our way. That's how I felt about it. That it seemed like the breaks weren't going our way, the calls necessarily weren't going our way, but our guys hung in there, and finally, eventually, the ball bounced our direction, and we picked up the big time dub, man, and it felt good to finally get a SEC win this year, and that first win in the swamp felt really good. It didn't make all the way up for how bad this has been, but it made up for some of it. It was a good win. It's just one win, but it did feel good to win that game for all the fans and I'm sure players and coaches.
Yeah, after a 7-3 loss at home against a backup quarterback in Mississippi State, to travel on the
Yeah,
road to the swamp and pick up a victory, it's pretty exciting. And actually, the game was pretty exciting. I don't care who you were a fan for, it was a pretty crazy game. We came out, Dan Enos was fired, and we got the receiver coach, Kenny Guyton, calling the plays. And we went right down the field and scored. It looked like there. That's what we've been looking for all year. And then right after that, Braxton makes the strip and score, and boom, we're up 14-0. It was crazy, but every time we do that, it seems like we let the other team come back. Like we settle down a little bit, and then before you know it, boom, boom, the other team's back in the game, and that's exactly what happened again. Uh, we had Hudson Clark playing once again on the line of scrimmage, playing man on their slot receiver that they kept putting in motion and doing this rollout flat pass to that we just couldn't cover, and it was like one boom boom, and then they was back 14-14. I was like, oh man, here we go.
yeah, but at least they fixed it finally and got him away from the man coverage in that slot that we've been talking about and put him back at a deeper safety spot. And they moved Johnson into that spot where, in my opinion, is where he needs to be. And I
Should have
think they
been.
know that. I think they know that too. He locks people up, and he's a strong kid. He's aggressive. And it's not that Clark's not a strong kid and he's not aggressive. He just one step a little, not having the speed. Because a lot of these guys in the slot, you're facing the SEC team. That's a 4-3-4-4 guy, and that's no knock against Clark. But hey, them slot guys are burners, and you just can't play a guy out of position. It's not Clark's fault. But it was good to see that get remedied. And I think it had a lot to do with McGlothern getting back healthy, the way it looked to me, being able to, have him and Braxton playing good play at corner and be able to put Johnson in there at the nickel.
Yeah, that it was a automatic change when Clark got moved back to safety, because because that first half, it took us a whole half to make that change. And when we came out in the second half with that change, it was like, all right, enough of this one play. I mean, literally, they were running the same play, dude. It was like so annoying, and we couldn't stop it. But man, it looked to me like KJ played. He took kind of took over this game, and it looked to me like Rocket Sanders was healthy again for the first time. I haven't seen him even look anything close to this, and it looked like he took over too. And with those guys together, it looked like they just said we're not losing this game. And they, like you said, we kind of was lucky to end up winning it, but also they willed us to victory. It looked like.
And yeah, mainly led by KJ and the resurgence of Rocket being healthy. I feel like it gave a big boost to our team, a lot of confidence, and we know what type of weapon he is when he's healthy, and he showed it. But he just hadn't been healthy this year. And also Armstrong, man, that one play he went and got that ball on the sideline on 3rd and 12 when we really needed it. That was a big time catch. And he showed everybody Arkansas's got receivers. That hasn't been the problem. All those weirdos that were getting on TV saying, "Oh, I don't know if they have any weapons on the outside." Yeah, we got weapons on the outside. We just didn't need to handcuff our offense the way we were doing. It just seems like our play calling was mixed up in this game. Kenny Guyton did a great job in his first game as OC. Hats off to him. And he kept Florida's defense off balance all day long. He came out throwing the ball on first down, got them off balance. And that's what you got to do, and he did that. And congratulations to the Razorbacks and to the offense for breaking out of that slump they were in.
Yeah, I thought we did a good job overall. Like I said, after we got that 14-0 lead, it looked to me like we kind of pumped the brakes a little bit. We started forcing the run, and once again we were having some problems with the O-line. But it looked to me like we corrected it in the game. We corrected it. We didn't go the whole game without making some adjustments or sitting on the football the whole game. We threw it and we kept them off balance enough where we was moving the ball and scoring points.
But I feel like some of that was field position, Jesse. I mean, every time when the coach runs it twice and throws it and punts, or two runs and a pass and punt, or some people call it, or 3 runs and a punt, I don't always disagree with it. The one time especially that I don't is when you're like backed up inside your own 10-yard line. I don't get mad at the coach hardly, unless time's running out and you're losing and you're still afraid to throw the ball. That would be one thing. But if it's like a situation where the game is close, you're backed up deep in your own territory, sometimes it's the best decision to run the football and play defense instead of letting them get a cheap turnover on you deep down close to the goal line. And so, some of that I felt like early, especially in the first half when it was 14-0, it seemed like they kind of flipped the field on us with that, bad punt we had, and some plays that happened that were a little bit fluky that kind of put them with a short fields. They had short field for their offense a couple of times and put our defense at a disadvantage. And we also, got backed up on with our offense a couple of times and had bad field position. So in that first half, there was a lot of momentum swing by them tying it back up at 14, I felt like. And then it was kind of deadlocked with the momentum for a long time. But I felt like when we put the game into overtime, our guys believed it was ours.
Yeah, in overtime, defense, they came out, made a quick stop, forced them to a field goal, and KJ and Rocket, they weren't being denied, man, and it was a great effort, and I thought it was a good play call there to end the game to Tyrone Broden with the touchdown on a slant. Perfect throw, perfect catch, and he waved to him and told him bye bye. I thought it was, hey, for a Razorback fan, that was nice. I know Florida fans was sick about it, but hey, that's what it is. We've been sick all year, so it felt good, man. And Broden, he's another receiver, so I'd like to see him getting more involved. He is, it looks like, as the year goes on. I just wish it was. I know he had some injuries early in the year, but I wish we was getting him more involved earlier.
Right, I think you're right on that. It's just kind of like Rocket Sanders. He wasn't healthy, and I believe that if Broden would have been healthier, we'd have seen more out of him at receiver. Another guy I'd like to see play is Davion Dozier. And he was a top recruit out of the state of Alabama, a 4-star. You can turn on his recruiting tape, and anyone, he's an undeniable talent. A guy that he played in like one game for us. So to know that we got players like that on our bench, and I look at some, and I hate to say this for Florida fans, I know you don't want to hear this, we got receivers on our bench look better to me than the ones y'all was starting. So Florida, I don't know. Them receivers y'all had starting, they was small. Them didn't look like Florida receivers to me. Usually they're big and scary. But we had some 6'3", 6'4" receivers that can run a 4.3 and 4 sitting on our bench. And the guys they were starting kind of were undersized, and they didn't really scare me. And that's not what I'm used to going up against Florida. Now, ETN and that offensive line, the offensive line was big and nasty, and ETN was hard to bring down. Mertz, he played better than I thought he would. He made some good plays, some excellent throws. But overall, it was just the Razorbacks' time to win. And also credit to Cam Little. Even though he missed that one barely, he's just such a good kicker. And those points he got were crucial for us in that game.
Yeah, Etienne, man, he's a dog, and I hope our guy, I hope Travis Williams gets in the film room and tells our guys this is what happens when you try to arm tackle a guy that's his status. You get ran through, and it looked to me like that happened a couple times. He was definitely, the explosion in their offense, other than they would try to mismatch their receivers against our slower corner or safety or whatever. Other than that was their game plan. ATN, and then match up a receiver with speed on our slower secondary guy. And once we got all that figured out, we were we were better at stopping what they were doing. But at that point, it seemed like it took us all game for some reason in this game.
And,
it was more.
Yeah, fatigue was a factor in that fourth quarter for both the defenses. You could see that.
Right, but it looked to me like they were more tired than we were, and that's why in overtime we ran it on them like we did. They were a little bit more fatigued than we were.
Yeah, it looked like that one time they got the ball there, though. They did like a 3-play, 72-yard drive, and they went through us like butter. And at that point, I was a little worried because I could tell that our defense was a little tired. But in the end, we ended up running more plays than they did, and we ran a little tempo, and it did look like we got into their D-line a little bit.
The game was pretty even. I mean, on the stats all the way around, that game was pretty deadlocked on it. So, hey, like I said, it was a good game.
Sure was. It was a good game, and that was a good win for us. And also, hey, we got that first against Alcorn State in basketball. We got our first dub last night, 93-59, and Khalif Battle with 21 points in 19 minutes. Brazil didn't play that much, but he had some nice dunks.
He was dunking all over him though when it first
Hogs look
started.
good. Hogs look really good in basketball. They played
Man,
very good team.
we got a bunch of new guys like Ellis. Ellis looks good, man. And dude, it looks like we're a little smaller team this year. It looks like, but we still got size too. But
There's plenty of size on this team. I see like plenty of bodies that can play.
Plenty of bodies, plenty of depth
at this level.
Right, I'm excited, man.
Lots of experience on this squad and lots of good ball handlers. So it looks like a good squad.
Yeah, I see a lot of like good ball handlers, and if they just through the year, I mean, like you said, Alcorn State, but through the year they learn how to all play together and as a team, and not get so wild. I seen flashes where they would, it's first game of the year, they get on a roll and get kind of wild, but hey, that's what it is, man. First game, you want to go out there and have fun and show the fans what you've been waiting on. So,
right, just good to see the Hogs out there playing basketball and picking up a big time blowout win in their first game and getting everybody into the game, and it looked like they were having fun. And we got another game Friday against Gardner Webb, and hopefully we get to play like 12 guys again. It ought to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, man, and we were carrying that momentum off that little exhibition win off of from Purdue, and
right,
we got a lot of excitement over here for the basketball team this year, like high expectations.
Yeah, a lot of belief in Coach Muss and what he's doing with the program. For the most part, I think all the fans, he's proven it. He's went deep into the tournament 3 years in a row, and he's proven what he can do here. And the fans just have a lot of belief in the basketball, and that we got a lot of momentum in that sport going right now.
Yeah, man, for sure. I'll be ready. Anything else you'd like to comment on these 2 games, or?
Oh, go Hogs.
Go Hogs, man. All right, well, that's all we got, man, for this Arkansas-Florida recap and this little touch-up on the Arkansas basketball team. The year just started. Game 1 just took place last night against Alcorn State, so we wanted to touch base on that. And we'll be back with another video. Appreciate you guys for joining. And like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank y'all.